Lovely. So we're standing just in parallel. Feet are nice and rounded. Arms just become really nice and heavy just by our side. And we'll just start off just with a couple of really generous shrugs at the shoulder. So we're kind of almost exaggerating that kind of shrug action as we lift up, drop down. Big shrug, lift up, drop down. Good. We've got 3. We've got 2. And we're going to take the last one. Shoulders drop down and away from ears. We'll sweep the hands up into the ceiling. We'll stretch and roll long. Hands drop behind the head. Let's take that little corkscrew rotation and standing. Breath in, we come back up through center. Breathe out, we drop down. Breath in through the center. Come on up. Out and drop down. One more up through center. Drop out and round. Hands come back up to center. We stretch, we lengthen, we go really tall. And then we relax the arms just down and just onto hips. Find just 2 bony points just in front of the hips here. Tail tucks under, little core is engaged. Shoulders slide away in the back, the neck lengthens. We take a lift up and onto one toe and we slowly lower, changing over. We lift and we lower. Now we're keeping everything super, super smooth. If you can see a little reflection of yourself, just check it out. You almost want to that little bottom line of tops and t-shirts being perfectly still as we lift and lower. Spirit level is a little belt and that bubble would be at the belly button. We roll. We change, 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 change. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, relax and release. Hands come away from the hips and we send that bottom back as we sink down into a full squat squeeze to come up. So bottom drops back and down, we squeeze and come up. We get these legs working quite quickly and we get that whole body moving. We take almost just an extra little squeeze at the top of those shoulder blades and we lift the chest forwards, down and up, down and up, down and up. Give me 5 more. We've 4. We've 3. We've 2. Last one, we drop down, we hold little pulses. Pulse, 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 pulse. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we come up, standing up nice and tall. We stay just grounded, just in a parallel. We've got 2 options. We can take just a nice early roll down, but if you know that roll down doesn't suit your spine and you'd rather, we are going to take arm openings. So we take a stretch and a rotation around and behind. We look to the fingers and we sweep and bring hand back up and over. Other side, open, rotate. Sweep and bring the hand over, or continue with your roll down. That little bit of softness behind the knees if we are rolling down. The head's heavy, arms are heavy. Tail tucks under, we slowly uncurl to come back on up. Head comes up last, we lift, we go tall, breath in. Breathing out, we lengthen again, chin comes into chest. We lift and we lower, soften the back of the knees. Arm openings, keep them going, just creating a little bit more stretch every repetition. Coming on up. And last roll down if you're taking roll downs. Couple more arm openings if you're staying and standing. Tail tucks under, we slowly uncurl. And we peel back on up, shoulders melt down the back body. A little short and sweet warm up and we're ready to get things going. So chairs, just make sure that they're kind of nice and secure. We use them probably mostly for balance. So it's just that we can kind of pop fingertips, pop hands on or grip, and we will come and do a couple of little bit of different things along the way. But that's what they're kind of mainly used for. When we're starting off, what's quite easy and what's quite nice with the chairs, if we just take the feet, just kind of match just the legs of the chair, that will set our feet up really, really nicely. Our shoulders are going to start just down and just away, just from the ears. And we are going to start by taking a little step back and a little drop down into a lunge and come back forwards. We drop back, little lunge, come back up. Down and into lunge, come back up. So with the standing class, we've got quite a lot of repetitions of the same action, and we almost just add in like a little layer, a little layer, a little layer to make it work a little bit harder every time. As much or as little support from the chair as you need, sinking back and down, coming back up. Looking to get to 90 and 90, we press back up. We're down and up, down and up, down and up. Give me 5 more as we are. We've 4, we've 3, we've 2. Last one, dropping down and back, we come on up. Now we peel up and onto the toes. That same leg is going to work, but we're dropping back into a little lunge with that toe elevated. So you can see my heel is lifted, but we're doing exactly the same little lunge. We drop down and back and slowly up. Down and back, slowly up. Down and up. Down and up. Give me 5 more. Give me 4. Give me 3. We've 2. Last one, drop back, hold. Now we lower that front heel and lift back up. Lower and lift. That front leg's probably working away, maybe a little jitter, maybe a little burn. Mine certainly is already. We've got 5. We've 4. We've 3. We've 2. Last one, peel back up, hold up and on your tippy toe. From here we come on up, but we draw that knee that we've had behind up and in. It stays up and in. Mine will kind of, remove mine out the way, but you keep your leg in. We lower the heel and lift. Lower and lift. Full calf raise. Hands in the chair. We've got 5. I'll turn side on. We've 4. We've 3. We've 2. Last one, heavy leg, we hold on up. Now we take a little dip at the knee and we press back up. Dip at the knee, press back up. Maybe a little jelly-like, that's okay. Good. Down and up, down and up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop that heel on down, step back, take a lunge from here. We do a little lift and we hold. 3, 2, 1 and lower. Lift up again. 3, 2, 1 and lower. Lift up again. 3, 2, 1 and lower. Last one, lift on up. 3, 2, 1. Relax, release and lower. Oh, that's the first little bit we're done. Give that leg, that's what's front, just a really good stretch and shake. Oh, catch the breath, grab a quick drink, and we just walk the hands, the feet just on back from the chair, the hands stay connected, and we take a little standing downward dog. A little bit of a softness just behind your knees if you need it is absolutely fine. And we take a couple breaths in and out. We ease ourselves just back on and up. Really nice work, everyone. The unfortunate thing is we're going to do the same again on the other side. So we kind of know what's coming. We'll know that the rhythm will kind of build and we're just adding in a little layer every time. So this time we're going to swap the legs. Make sure you swap the legs. You'll soon know if you haven't. Shoulders again, they slide down and away. This time the other leg comes back behind. We take that lunge and we come back up. Take the lunge, come back up, down and up. We're using that single leg to push and propel. That back leg's just nice and light on the mat so it's not doing so much work. Fingertips are just nice and light. If you need a little more, do hang on more, but if we can, let's work the balance a little. We're going to go for 5. We've 4. We've 3. We've 2. Last one, come on up. Then take that leg now up and into that little tippy toe raise, and we drop back down and come back in. Drop back down, come on in, down and up, down and up. That heel is lifted throughout, that front of thigh is working. Give me 5 and up, 4 and up, 3 and up, 2 and up. Last one. Drop back down, hold. Now we take that little front heel, we lift and lower, lift and lower, lift and lower. 5 and up, 4 and up, 3 and up, 2 2, and up. Last one coming up, we hold, we slide on up. Now we take just that back leg, kind of any position that we want out of the way. Take that calf raise. Lift and lower, lift and lower, lift and lower. Really lovely work for calves, for legs, great for runners, and just really nice for keeping nice and strong in upright positions and walking. We've got 3, we've 2, last one. We come on up now, hold. Now we dip the knee and come back up. Dip and up, dip and up, dip and up. 5 and up, 4 and up, 3 and up, 2 and up. Last one, come on up. We keep up on that tippy toe. We drop back down into the lunge. We lower the heel. We lift, we hold. 3, 2, 1 and lower. Again, lift. 3, 2, 1 and lower. Last one. 3, 2, 1. Relax, release and lower. And we come on up. Ooh, legs get a good shake. Ooh. I really should have checked the weather forecast before I planned this class. I think I'm melting away. We walk on back again, and we just take that little kind of stretch just into that just soft downward dog. Really nice with the top of the shoulders. Keep as much of a bend in the knee, but almost imagine that the chest here is just melting down to the thighs. Couple big breaths in and out. And we'll ease ourselves just on up, just really nice and slowly. Everyone, grab a quick drink, anything that you need just to make yourself comfy. Let's find just our little set of weights, but we'll only need one weight just to begin with. We're going to take ourselves into Pilates first position. So that means that we're coming into that little kind of pizza slice shape, just with that little space just between the feet. Toes turned out at 10 and 2. Now we change our position a little in standing. So you're turning towards screen, and you're going to have just your hand just on your chair. You don't need to mirror me because we will swap over onto the other side, if that makes sense. But if your brain works a bit like mine and you need to copy, then take your chair around to the same side. We're down in first position. Arm is just going to take that weight. It's almost just like hanging by your side like a little shopping bag. From here, we're just going to start with a little plie out and in. Out and in. We're going to work a bit of arms and legs together. Now if this feels really comfy, let's add in an arm. We slide the hand out in front, we come back up. Out in front, come back up. Out and in. Out and in. Out and in. Little softness with those knees, and we kind of zip up the middle of the thighs to close. Great work. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. We hold on down. Now we take a single heel lift and we lower. We lift and lower, lift and lower, lift and lower. 3, release. 2, release. Last one, release and lower. Hand slides up as though we were asking a question in class. Now we take a double heel lift and lower. Really nice. Lift and lower, lift and lower. We keep the same height, but we're rolling through feet. Lift and lower. The bend stays in back of knees. Great stuff. Tough after that last little set that we've just done. Good. 5, release. 4, release. 3, release. 2, release. Last one, drop on down, come on up. Now we make this a little bit more active. We start with the hand just across the tummy, and we're going to step that outside leg out, take a little bounce down and come back in. Out and in, out and in, out and in. That palm flips up a little towards the ceiling if it feels comfy. We sweep on out, come on in, out and in. 3, 2, last one, hold on out. Little pulses, pulse, 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 pulse. 3, 2, 1. Outside hand curls into shoulder, press it away. High bicep curl, curl, release. curl, release, curl, release. We've got 3, we've 2, last one, release. Palm turns just towards the screen, towards me. Now we take a little combination. Double heels and hands together, slowly lower. Double heels, release, push, release, push, release. 5, release, 4, release, 3, release, 2, release. Last one, release. Arm comes down, legs come up, and we are all done. Take a little shake just off those legs. Little shake of shoulder. Weight can come down and just drop on in, and we'll just stretch out that arm above or below the elbow. Hug that in towards the chest, and then take a little stretch just around and over the shoulder. We catch our breath here. Couple breaths in and out. And we let that arm just go, and we just give that arm just a little kind of wriggle and a little wiggle. Good. We're going to turn back in towards the chair this time, and we're going to go back into a little bit of legs and a little bit of glutes. We change the position that we're standing in a little for this next one. What we're going to do is let the arms kind of rest just on the top of the chair, a bit like you were trying to catch your breath kind of at the top of a hill on a wall. The back stays quite kind of straight if we can, so try not to be kind of too rounded. Try and keep some nice activity. And we want to walk the legs a little bit kind of further away from the chair here. Shoulders slide just down and just away from the shoulders. Now this next one, it doesn't matter what your range of movement is. We are going to take the weight just onto the leg that's kind of furthest away from your screen to begin with. And we're going to slide the leg up and then draw into the chest. Slide the leg up, draw into the chest. Send it out and away and slowly come in. Now you want to try and aim for a straight leg, but we're really thinking about this being a kind of bottom muscle exercise. Top half of the body's offloaded, that's taken away the challenge of balance. As we push out, we draw in. Out and in, out and in. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one leg out long, we hold it up, little squeezes. We pulse, 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 pulse. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Leg comes in, just drops down a little. Now we're going to take some little pendulum kicks. So we tap the foot out to the side and we bend the standing leg. We lift up, we drop down, little tap. Lift up, drop down, we tap. If you're on a mat, that's perfect because you just imagine tapping, or you do tap either side of the mat. If you're not on a mat this evening, just imagine that you're standing on one and you tap one side, tap the other. Tap one side, tap the other. Standing leg doing a little bit more now. Maybe feeling that starting to ache a little. Good. We've got 5, we've 4, we've 3, we've 2, last one, we come back to center, we hold little hamstring curl, heel towards bottom, we press away, heel towards bum, press away, curl in, press away. If you want to add a little coordination with the foot in, do we curl the heel and then point the toe, curl the heel, point the toe. 3, release, 2, release, last one, release, and we are all done. That standing leg a little achy, give it a little kind of shake. Ooh, just some little kind of pony legs, just releasing, just let that just go. Ooh, well done everyone, legs get a little shake. That standing kind of hip has worked kind of really hard, and that's a really nice skill to develop for thinking about control, like when you're walking, making sure that that glute squeezes to help control us when we are walking. We've hopefully caught our breaths. Grab a little drink, anything you need to, because we've got that through and on the other side. Other side we work, so we're taking the leg now that's kind of closest away from your kind of screen, and we're going to work that as well. Come back down into that little kind of relaxed position. Walk the feet a little further, just away from the chair than where we had them before. Shoulders slide just down and just away. From here, when we are ready, we take the weight onto the leg closest to the screen and we elevate, lift up, we slowly come into chest. Elevate, lift up, come into chest. Elevate, into chest. Elevate, into chest. Good. Keep that pace up. Make sure you're working the other side. You'll soon start to feel that this feels a little tough if you haven't. And take a little sneaky swap on over, out, and in. This is a good thing about kind of online classes, is nobody knows if you've kind of duffed up. That would always be me in a class doing the wrong side. So nobody knows, you've got away with it. Just don't double up because you will feel sore tomorrow. We've got 3 as we are. We've 2 as we are. Last one, send those legs out lovely and long. Now we squeeze. Squeeze that bottom. Pulse, 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 pulse. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Leg stays nice and long. Now we take that little dip and we tap down. Other side. Have a little peek down at that standing knee for me, everyone. When we tap out, we don't want to see that knee drop in. You should be tapping out straight in line with the toes. Tap, 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 tap. Now maybe starting to feel that bit of burning. Great stuff. Endurance always a little tougher on that second side. Give me 5, 4, 3, 2, tap, tap, come on in, hold, little bend in the knee, we curl, heel to bottom, send on out, heel to bum, go on out, curl, release, curl, release, curl, and point the toe, curl, release, curl, release. Give me 3 more, everyone. We do. Last one, and we come on in. Oh, nice bit of work. Now we get to stretch out those hips. Grab a quick drink if you kind of want to, just as we're kind of running through that. You can stay facing in towards the chair, but I'll turn on to screen. So both hands will stay on the chair. What we're going to do is a little standing figure of 4. So what we're going to do is we're using both hands on the chair to take away the risk of any kind of balance. We cross just one leg up and over and just above the knee. Make sure your kneecap is free. And then you're going to sink back and down, almost like you were sinking into like a little chair. Now you should feel that nice little stretch on the outer hip where we have just been working. Whew. Chance to recover the breath as well. And we ease on up just when we are ready. And we swap on over other side. Other side, exactly the same. Cross the heel on up and over. We sink back down. Use that chair just to take the weight and just take away the worry of balance so we can dip into the stretch and we can hold. Couple breaths in and out. Come on up when we are ready. Now I've not forgotten that we've got to do that other side, so don't worry, we do have another bit of leg work to do, but we're going to break that up. What we're going to do now is your chair will be kind of facing the same as me, so your back of your hands will be towards it. I'm going to get you to just flip that chair kind of on around and just towards you. Now be a bit careful this one, everyone. Make sure that your chair is kind of flat and secured down onto something, because what I don't want it to do is kind of slide away. We're going to take the feet just a little bit kind of further away. Now, we've got options. We can either be in like a little kind of, almost like a little kind of box shape on top of the chair, or we can start to press and send those legs away long so we're more in a kind of plank. If you're kind of starting to just find the kind of grips of Pilates, if you're working on building strength, I would say a box. If you're quite happy, then we can come here just into your little plank. Whatever we are doing with the legs, we're going to do the same arms, and we're going to do a little press up onto the chair and back up. So the arms, they fold and we push and press back up. Arms, they fold, push and press up. We take that little bend and push. Wherever we are, we do exactly the same. We're in that full plank, we keep the core engaged and we dip down and push back up. down towards the chair, and we push back up. We've not many here. We push, release, push, release. 3, 2, last one. We come on up, we walk the feet on in. We take just a little stretch and recover and catch the breath. Ease ourselves just on up, just nice and slowly. And we're going to take the chair just to kind of like the other side, if that makes sense, because we're going to do that kind of other leg that we haven't kind of done. So we take a hold just of a single weight just here again in your outer arm. We go back and take ourselves back in from here just to that little kind of pizza slice, that little first position. Shoulders drop back and down. Now the legs to begin with will differ, so we'll change things up a little, but the arms will stay the same. From here, we're going to take a double heel raise, and we're going to elevate the arm up and then slowly lower. Double heel raise, elevate up, slowly lower. Here we lift and lower, lift and lower, lift and lower. Shoulders stay away from ears. We're really lovely and tall. Those heels will separate a little, but they come back together and lower. We've got 3 as we are. We have 2 as we are. Last one. From here, we take the hands on up and overhead. We lift up onto double heels. We drop the heels down, they kiss the mat, and we lift up. We pulse twice and lower. Lift, pulse, pulse, and lower. Pulse, pulse, lower. Pulse, pulse, lower. Pulse, pulse, lower. 5 and lower. 4 and lower. 3 and lower. 2 and lower. Last one, we lower on down, arm comes down, take a little kind of shrug. We take that hand from here, again just over the front of the tummy, and from here we step that leg on out, and then we drop back in. Come on out, drop it. Make sure I'm not in danger of hitting the wall. Wouldn't be a good look at a hole in the wardrobe. Good. Glide on out, come on in, out and in, out and in. 3 as we are, 2 as we are. Last one, hold on out. From here, high bicep curl, slowly away. High bicep curl, away. We're maintaining and holding that strong position, in and away, in and away. We've got 3, release. We have 2, release. Last one, release, come on in. Palm faces forwards. From here, double heel raise, arm comes up. Drop on down, up and down, up and down, up and down. Really nice work, everyone. We've got 5, release. 4, release. 3, release. 2, release. Last one, release, drop down. Hand just comes, just hold just dead in the center. From here we lift up, we pulse twice and lower. Exactly same as we did before, pulse, pulse and lower. The deeper the 2 calves work now, pulse, pulse and lower. Pulse, pulse, lower. Pulse, pulse, lower. 5, lower. 4, lower. 3, lower. 2, lower. Last one, we hold up top, little ups and downs. All those legs are our jelly-like. Let's keep going. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Sink those heels, press the legs. We are all done. Well done, everyone. Oh, a little opportunity for a drink. Weight can come just down and just pop that just down just to the side. Ooh, really great work. We're going to take a little stretch just of the backs of the legs from here. So we walk just 1 foot out. Let's match those legs up again, just the lines just on the chair legs. That's perfect. It gives us a nice little kind of guide. Heel sinks down and we bend the front knee forwards, feeling that stretch down and through the back of the legs. If you want to go into a slightly deeper stretch, we can let the hands just come onto the top of the chair and we just relax and just hold just here. We want just that kind of nice tension. Make sure that back knee is completely straight to enjoy the stretch. And make sure that toe is facing forwards. Ooh, catch the breath. When we are ready, let's lift up, let's swap on over. We want to take that stretches down and just on the other side. Again, feet are kind of matched up just with the legs of the chair. Couple breaths in and out. On that breath out, can you dip a little further just as we hold, just for the last little section. And then we ease yourself from here, everyone, just up, just nice and slowly. A little kind of shake just off the legs. We've got one more little bit of work with the chair before we can wave that goodbye tonight. And we're going to turn the chair back in towards us. Same as before, just make sure that that chair is kind of grounded down on something because I really don't want them kind of slipping out in a way. If this one doesn't suit you, I know that there's a couple out there that might not love this one. Little arm weights, and we're going to take a tricep extension, and you can take that just in sitting, kind of with weights in both kind of arms, and that will give you a really similar effect. We're going to come into just a little tricep dip for those of you that are keen to give this a go this evening. I've got a little cushion on my chair that I'm going to just kind of remove just out of the way so I can kind of grip onto kind of the firm part of the chair. The feet, they walk just away, and you can start with the legs at 90 degrees, but ultimately you can take those legs out nice and straight. Wherever we are going to do the same arms. Let me just get rid of that cushion. And what we're going to do here is we're going to bend the arms to the back of the chair, the bottom will lower, and we'll push and press and come up. Now, the further the heels of the legs are away from the chair, the harder this will be. We drop down and push on up. Get a little bit of core here to keep that form nice and strong. Good. We dip and push, dip and push, dip and push. 5, come up. 4, come up. 3, come up. 2, come up. Last one, come on up. Walk on in, hands come on in. We take a little roll, a little shrug. We just stretch just off just the outside, just of that arm, just to even things up. So above or below that elbow, hug on in and take a little stretch just on over. Couple breaths in and out. Now we relax that arm down. Little wriggle. We can wave goodbye to the chair. We're probably quite ready to get rid of those chairs now. So chairs can come just out. Pop them just so that they're not in the way, because we're going to be coming down and just onto the floor. I'm going to drop you down just so that you can see what I'm up to just a little bit better. Good. Lovely stuff, everyone. Let's take ourselves down. We are going to kind of come onto all fours, but go straight the way kind of down and onto forearms. Now we're coming into a little sphinx position. We did this last week in class for those of us that were with us, and it's a lower core exercise, so it's quite isolating. I will introduce a couple of different modifications depending on where you're kind of feeling that you want to work this evening. Palms turned down, elbows are underneath shoulders, and we really work to kind of slide those shoulders just away from the ears so that the back of the neck is really lovely and low. Tailbone here just tucks under a little, so we've got a little bit of engagement just to the lower core. We take a breath on in. Option 1 is we lift the hips up a couple of inches from the mat and we hold. Hold there if that's for you. If you want to make it a little tougher, drop back down, tuck toes under, and we take a full body lift. We hold together. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Everyone relax, release, and just drop down. 2 little options, completely up to you which one you want to work on. They both work the same. Up and on the toes is just that little bit tougher. Take a little readjustment. Anything that you feel that you might just need to kind of wriggle and roll and kind of move about on the mat, just do. Shoulders, they slide just down, just away from the ears. We take a little breath on in, breathing out, we lift on up, we hold either version. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax, release, and drop down. Catch the breath here again. Breathing out, we come on up again. Last one, either our knees are up and on toes. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we relax and release and we drop on down. Take a little moment, just flat and just relax and just catch the breath with a couple breaths in and out. We're going to keep that as our little base move. Let me just do a little demo of this next one. So just you stay rested, you've earned yourself an extra little couple of breaths. We're going to take that little lift either position again, but what we're going to do is add in a little rotation this time. So I want you to imagine you've got a little marble on the back, and we're going to try and roll it off one side, and then we come back up to center. Another little marble, we roll down to the other side and back to center. Now your chest stays nice and level, so we're not kind of rotating, we're just letting the hips do the twist. When you're ready, come back into position. Find just that kind of nice, kind of steady kind of position again. Tuck the tailbones under, take a breath in, breathe out, onto knees or onto toes, and we rotate, come back to center. Rotate and center, rotate and center, rotate and center. Keep that going for me. A little bit tough, we're almost there. We've got one more each side. Rotate and center, rotate and center. Hold, 3, 2, 1. Relax, release and lower. Drop on down, catch the breath. Whew. Couple little breaths just in and out. Ease yourself just on up, just nice and slowly just from here. If you want to drop back and take a little child's pose, just do. But we are all going to find just a comfy lying position now, just on our back. So come on to kind of backs. We won't need head pillows just now unless you kind of feel that you're kind of miss not having something underneath there. And we're going to let the head come down and kind of onto the mat itself. Arms are going to come down just by your side. The collarbones are nice and open. We take a little breath on in, breathing out. We're going to take a squeeze of the bum and a straight lift in our bridge tonight. Drop on down. So those of you that have worked with me for a long time will know that we love those lovely rolls up through the spine. We're kind of throwing that out the window a little. So we just take that big squeeze and lift the bottom and we slowly release. And if that doesn't feel that that favors you and you do prefer that roll, just do that instead. Good. Squeeze and release. Squeeze, release. We 5, release. We 4, release. 3, release. 2, release. Come back up. We hold up together. Wherever we are, we've met in the bridge. Just check those bum muscles are working. Give them a little prod. They should feel nice and contracted. We almost go back to thinking about that little marble, but this time it's at the belly button. We tilt down to one side and we work back up to center. We tilt to the other side, work back to center. So the hip will drop down and then we have to regain and squeeze and come back up. Hip will drop down, regain, squeeze, come back up. Those knees, they stay level, so we're not kind of rocking side to side, we're not skiing. We're dropping the hip down, we squeeze. Now we've done quite a lot of work on these glutes already, and you'll probably start to feel as you really squeeze, that feels a bit tough, a bit tired. That's exactly what we want. We know we're strengthening, we know we're working hard. Hips come back up to center. Give me 5, come up, 4, come up, 3, come up, 2, come up. The last one, come up. We hold little mini pulses, so we drop everything and pick back up. Release and squeeze. Release and squeeze. 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one, hold. And we treacle back down through the spine. Come on down, come to the bottom. And we take just a little hug just in of those knees and a little soft rock here, side to side. A little catch of the breath. Now the legs, they come on down, just one at a time, just back down onto the mat. This next little one, we're going to layer up again. Couple of options dependent on where you want to work. We'll start together just with a more basic level, just so that we get all our cores engaged, and then we'll take it from there. So the arms, they just drop so that they're down kind of nice and long just by our side. The collarbones are nice and open. We engage and just tilt just the hips a couple of times so we find the neutral. From here, we're going to take a single leg up and into tabletop. And we are going to push out, single leg stretch, come back in, and we slowly lower. Other side lifts up, we push on out, come back in and lower. Now this will all work our cores no matter how advanced we want to push things tonight. So we want to think about wherever we're going from here, that the hips stay nice and steady and that we don't kind of rock or just change the kind of position of the hips. So we lift and we lower. If this feels quite comfy and you want to make this a little tougher, let's peel up, double tabletop. We push out and come in, push out and come in. If that feels pretty comfy, let's make life a little trickier. Let's interlock hands behind the head and take a little lift down up. Now I really want the heads to feel heavy with this exercise, and you almost kind of feel as though you're pushing your head back into your hands so that we've got just complete control of up top. If this is feeling comfy and we want to take the hardest level tonight, we are going to make this a little bicycle leg. So let's go for a little cycle. We slide on out and come on in. Now this makes things a little tougher for the core because both legs will come out our base. So you've got to work harder to control that lower back. If you're just doing a single leg, you can just do those little single legs, like a little kind of bicycle leg. That is absolutely fine. And it's kind of a nice little gentle kind of movement, pedaling on out and coming on in. If we're up, keep on going, that little revolution, exactly like we're on a little bicycle. Press out, come in, out and in. Everyone together, we've got 5 more, 4 more, 3, 2, last one. Knees come into chest, we drop back and we take a rock and a roll side to side. Catch the breath. Just relax and release and just become really heavy, relaxing in that. We begin now just to start cool down, just by bringing just yourself just back down, just onto the mats. We're going to go back into bridge, but we're going to go back into those more traditional spinal rolls with our bridge. We'll add in arms once we get going. We're going to take a breath in, breathing out, we tilt the hips up towards the head, we squeeze glutes and we roll and we peel, trickling and lifting up and off the mat. A breath in, we take those arms up and overhead, and breathe out, we trickle the spine back down level by level, coming all the way back down through the back. A little breath in to then just bring those hands back down and just by our side. Breath in again. Breathing out, we tilt the hips, we squeeze the glutes, we roll, we peel, we come on up. A breath in, the arms elevate up and overhead. Breathing out, we trickle back down again through the spine. A breath in to come back down, arms lovely and long. Last one here. We roll, we peel, we come on up. Arms come up and overhead. And we breathe out, relax, release, come on down. We come down to rest, just down and just on our mat. Arms, they come back down just by your side, just from here. And we're going to just invite the right knee just up and just in towards the chest. The right heel is going to cross over and we'll press a little on the inside of the thigh there. Hold here tonight. Option 1 is to come into your figure of 4 that we'll all know quite well to stretch out the outer glutes. Option 2 is to come into a little rotation as well. So we're going to keep and maintain and hold this open leg. The hands are going to drop a little bit further off the edges just of your mat. And from here, we're going to let just the hips drop down to the left-hand side. And it's as though the right sole of the foot is trying to aim down and towards the ground. We keep pressing the kidney away and the knees up to ceiling, and we hold, feeling that quite strong as a stretch on the outer hip. If that feels a little bit too much, if your lower back doesn't love it, we go back and into figure of four. And that's just a lovely stretch just to hold and maintain. We hold here, a couple breaths in and out. Head's heavy. We let tummies go, we let the breathing just start to settle. And if we've taken that little rotation, we're just going to take the hands just onto like the seams of outer leggings. Use the core a little, and we're going to draw those knees back up into center. Now we unfold and uncross the legs to do the same on the other side. Left knee comes up and towards you. The heel crosses up and over. We press a little to open up. Again, figure of four, scoop up that right leg and drop on back. Or if we want just that little bit more tonight, we can take that little rotation, this time to the right, left sole of the foot aiming itself down and planting down. We are grounded, we are relaxed, we just melt into the mat. Body's just relaxed. Wherever we're holding, we just enjoy that stretch. Using the breath out to create space. And again, we look to let hands retrieve legs just at the seams of leggings, and we draw knees back up into center. From here, we just let the legs just now come into their most comfortable position. You can stretch out long, we can keep them bent, the knees can come together, the soles of the feet can come together, the knees can drop out. We can even just take a seat up and just find a nice comfy kind of seat wherever we are most comfortable, we just find. We let the head just soften, the arms relax. And now that we've come down and flattened the mat, the body's worked hard, we realise there's nothing that we need to do. We just enjoy just the sense of the body just becoming really heavy as it grounds down. As we follow the flow of the breath in and out, we let the mind just slow, calm and become still. There's just a softness surrounding the body. And we use the breath out to relax and release any pockets or areas of lingering tension. There's no restriction anymore at tummies. As we take that breath in through the nose, we really expand through the ribs and expand through the tummy. Breathing out all the way. Big breath in. Out all the way. Big breath in. Out all the way. Next big breath in, we'll hold at the top. So take that breath in, fill the lungs, let the tummy lift, we hold. And then breathing out, relax and release. The knees, they bend, if they're out straight. We've got the legs bent out to the side and butterfly, we bring the knees back together. The feet come together, the knees come together. We take a soft rock here, side to side. And we then just let the knees just take us just over and just onto the side. We take a little moment So we're just heavy, not wanting to quite move yet. We ease ourselves up, coming up off of the floor, just into your most comfy position. Remember, we can take kneeling, cross-leg long seat, or have a seat just in the chair. We interlock hands in front of the chest. Breathe out to press those hands always and slide out. We take a little rotation just around, just to one side. Arms then come back to the center. We drop around into the other. Come on back to center. Press those hands on out. We stretch, we extend up to ceiling. We are really tall and long. We release the palms, press the palms out to walls. Little nerve slide as we come down and in. Palms just face up. We finish just at the neck. Right ear just drops down just to the right shoulder. The head is just heavy. Take a couple breaths in and out. Roll that chin just down and just into the chest, and we slowly uncurl back up through the center. Head comes up. Over into the other side. Head drops down. Head's heavy. Roll the chin just down and just into the chest. Hang, hold. And we slowly uncurl, coming back up level by level. All the way up top. You're all done for this evening. You're doing such lovely work, hot and sweaty work. Well done. Hopefully just feeling like we've just got a really nice kind of good all over kind of body workout, but there was quite a focus kind of on legs. We've done a good bit of kind of abdominals as well. If you've got any kind of little requests, any questions, queries, if